Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing another double. We've got Feather and Tempest. They are both variants of the Tombstone rifle. I'll explain how you get both of these in a second. They are a blue, which is the Feather, and a purple, which is Tempest. Tempest gives you two traits, which is Tesla. Rounds will sometimes emit electricity where they land that damages and slows nearby targets, and hand loading, volatile rounds that are designed to pack a bigger punch but aren't as stable and can fail on occasion. Feather has one trait because it's blue, which is titanium build. Premium build materials make the weapon light as a feather, so much reduced mass. It's just a little over 50%, I think. For Tempest, your installed mods are 5 out of 6, long barrel, laser sight, recon scope, compensator, and a large magazine. It's let's call it a mid-range weapon. It might just sneak into the long-range section, but let's just call it a mid-range weapon. For Feather, you get 5 out of the 6 mods installed, which is long barrel, laser sight, compensator, large magazine, and hair trigger. They both have the same damage output, ammunition output, magazine size. The Feather has 117 fire rate, but the Tempest only has 90. And the Feather is just a little bit less accurate at 79.7 compared to Tempest's 81.8. So to get them, for Feather you need to join the Crimson Fleet. Once you can get to the key, you can speak to Alundra, who will sell you this and a good few other weapons. For Tempest, you need to go all the way through and complete Eye of the Storm and side with the UC Sistev and defeat Delgado. By doing that, you will get this off his body. That is the only way to get Tempest. So when you're going through the Crimson Fleet quest line, keep an eye out for Eye of the Storm, and remember that you have to make the choice between siding with either Sistev or the pirates. If you choose the pirates, you will not be able to get Tempest unless you go around New Game Plus and do it a different way. Each choice, if you side with the pirates, you'll go and fight the UC Sistev and you'll get a different weapon. If you side with Sistev, you'll have to go and beat Delgado, who is the leader of the Crimson Fleet, and he will drop this. So there we go. What we're going to do is we're going to give a quick playthrough with each weapon, just a handful of kills just to see what they play like. We're not going to go too crazy with this because obviously we've done the Tombstone before. It's only marginal changes between each one, so you'll know roughly what they how they react and play. So this is just a quick show off for the purposes of the video. So we will start with Tempest and we will go from there. So obviously it looks just like a Tombstone. It's got a scope already mounted on it. Nothing fancy about it. No zoom. You can hold your breath so you can steady it. So let's see what we can find and see what this thing can do. Can automatic fire with it. I don't think it really loses much accuracy if you automatic fire. I mean, you will lose a little bit, but it does seem to pack quite a punch. Oh, quiet the lab key, never mind. Obviously you can see and hear the electrical discharge of the Tesla rounds, so yeah, excellent. We should be able to do a little bit of long range work from here. pretty accurate. It's nice and stable. I'm not holding my breath. Doing a pretty decent amount of damage. He's 72, and we are taking his armor down quite successfully. So let's swap to the Tempest. We'll swap to Feather. Handle's pretty much the same. Doesn't have quite the kick to it that Tempest does, and obviously you've only got the one trait to play with. Where'd you go? Okay. Helps if you reload. So, there really isn't much between them. Obviously, damage output is exactly the same between the pair, so you gain nothing by having the purple compared to the rare, the blue. Not certain what you could really say that's it's worth going after Tempest. I mean, again, I think this one's going to come down to more of a personal choice. Obviously, they're on the same quest line, so if you're working your way through the Crimson Fleet quest line, you will pick up Feather first. So if you're intending on using Tempest, then you can use Feather to get used to the weapon and get well practiced in handling it. So by the time you complete the Crimson Fleet quest line and you pick up Tempest, you'll be able to abandon Feather and move on to the theoretical improved version. I mean, it is purple, it does give you an extra trait, but that seems that that's all it gives. It's just that one extra trait. I had expected a damage upgrade between the two. I mean, when you think of blue and purple weapons, then you expect purple to be far more formidable damage-wise. But I don't know whether this is on purpose or whether it's just an oversight, but it's not. I mean, they give off identical damage. And that shouldn't be the case, but it is the case. So, I mean, Feather is just as accurate as Tempest. Seems to me that it's doing the same amount of damage. I mean, I could be wrong. If you've got the floating damage markers on, and you feel like giving it a test, then do so and drop me a comment. I'd be interested to know if there is an actual physical difference rather than just a statistical one, because the stats say they're identical, so are they? It's a pretty big question. I do like the 11mm round weapons. They are fun to use. They do hit quite hard. It's a much bigger caliber round than most assault rifles will use, so it can be a little difficult to come by early on in a fresh game. I'm not too sure about New Game Plus, but it's worth it. I do actually like the Tombstone as a base weapon. They can be really enjoyable weapons. I think if I did have to choose, I would pick Tempest. I just think the extra trait is worthwhile. I'm not a particular fan of the Tesla one, but I do think that at least having it just gives you that extra option, and if you're dealing with a large amount of mobs, you can put that to good use, because you can get them all slowed with a little bit of electrical damage thrown in. Whereas if you just stuck with Feather, you would you'd only get that titanium build, which is great if you're limited for mass. But when you're looking at weapons, I always think it's better to look for offensive or defensive stats and traits over something that just affects its mass. It's such a small amount, it's not strictly worth it. So yeah, personal recommendation, and it is just personal, these are all just my personal views. Use Feather as a practice weapon while you work your way towards clearing the Crimson Fleet and pick up Tempest. With Tempest, obviously you've got one more mod you can mess about with in there, and these aren't locked in, so you can pick and choose and change. Not certain what you really would change on here though. Probably look at something that raises the damage. I'm sure there is something in there that you can change to give it a bit more damage, to make it a bit more worthwhile. The rate of fire is slower on Tempest by quite a bit, so what is it, 27 points of difference in the rate of fire. So it's a slower firing weapon, but it's more accurate, so you'll probably get more hits out of it if you're sticking with Tempest. And obviously the volatile rounds will do a significant amount of damage, and the Tesla stuff can come in very, very handy, because it does a little bit of damage on the ground, splash damage, so anything that walks through it is going to get hurt. But it also slows your targets down, so if they try and flee, they're going to have a harder time getting away from you. So there we go, that is another double, Feather and Tempest. Both tombstone variants, both really easy to come by in the grand scheme of things. They won't take you very long to push through and get Crimson Fleet done, and it's a really good questline. So give it a go. Give them both a fair shot. Obviously Tempest will come for free, you'll have to buy Feather. But if the tombstone is the style of weapon that you're intent on using, then these two are perfect for you. So yeah, give them a look, and we'll end it there. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, a thumbs up would be hugely appreciated. Leave us a comment if you agree or disagree with anything I've said, or you've got your own thoughts and views. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one.